Hello, everyone. It's Thursday, January 18th. You're listening to And Whose Fault Is That? Tonight's episode is Conventions and Considerations. Phil, how are you doing?
Greetings. I am good. Long day, but I am good.
Samesies.
How about you?
Samesies. I'm happy tomorrow's Friday. I don't know how else to put it, really. I feel like Friday gives you hope, Saturday's nice, and then by Saturday night, I'm already bummed because I know it's Sunday tomorrow kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
The no longer feeling like you have a weekend kind of mentality is when you know you've reached pretty much the end. But yeah, I got a couple things that I had jotted down that I wanted to talk to you about, which I'm kind of happy I actually remembered to jot things down because sometimes I get into these things completely blank, and I rely on you to bring up some topics that, you know, not like it's hard for me to have a conversation because most of the time I can't shut up. So. But alas, there is direction today.
Yeah, no, and I'm guilty of it too, where it's like, oh, well, this will happen. I should jot this down. Or in the ever famous quote, oh, just save it for the show. I find myself as we chat on channels that it's like, oh, no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't mention this. I shouldn't talk about it. Save it for the show.
Oh, okay. So I guess I understand what you're saying, because in the end, I care about making sure there's also an element of surprise when you and I have a discussion now.
Yes.
And I'm not like having to repeat myself for the sake of maybe the audience will enjoy this. So
yeah, but I also think there's also the problem I have is that the second time I tell a story, I will cut corners because you already have context, and so you end up cutting, or at least in my case, I end up cutting corners, and then our poor dear sweet precious audience is like, or you don't. Hell are they talking about?
Yeah, or you don't, and you'll repeat the exact same thing, maybe with more detail this time, and I will just sit there stone faced, like,
Yes, I've heard this part already.
Wow, they're ghosts. Really don't care about what they're talking about, do they? I mean, I could pull the fake card and be like, tell me more. Really?
Shock and surprise.
Fantastical. Yeah. I have a couple things that I jotted down. One of them is, am I the only one around here who cares about being considerate? But when I was writing it, I wrote it with that, I don't even know what you call this accent, but am I the only one around here who cares about being considerate? It's like a broken, I'm not even going to describe it. The other thing was, okay, sweetie. And in brackets, I put survey. I wonder if that has sparked your curiosity. I always wonder if
it has, because my mind immediately went to who came to your door and asked you to complete a survey.
No. This was a phone call.
No, we have no soliciting sites.
Yeah, this was a phone call that I answered because I trusted the phone number.
Oh.
So anyway, and then obviously the usual neighbor shenanigans. But I did see that you wrote walking around conventions for fun and profit. So
just for hex and giggles.
Hex and for shiggles, yeah.
For shiggles. Yeah, we can. I want to hear about. I want to hear about people being inconsiderate.
So, I survived the snowstorm of Texas, or whatever they call it. You know when they used to put that meme of the lawn chair that tipped over and you survived. Yeah. So, but there was an Arctic kind of front or whatever meteorologists say when it's like, and it was freezing for like 3 or 4 days, way below temperatures. There's no infrastructure for this over here, so people do freak out and they prepare in advance. And so we had kind of a toilet paper situation, but in water, where the water was completely gone out of the store and people were kind of freaking out. People filling up their bathtubs. We also filled up our bathtubs because we followed what everybody else was doing. So
I don't even know why I'm filling this bathtub.
I've never had to do that before, but apparently the infrastructure here is literally wet noodle and it freezes really quickly, and people that we know have lost water.
concern? Is the concern that water pipes
The
that are
pipes
only
freeze.
buried 6 inches below ground freeze?
Exactly. So we are past that. Today was a whopping 78 degrees. So that was
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Last night was
Everything's thawed, I assure you.
Yeah, last night was like 35 or something like that when we took them for a W, and today was just like I had to keep lowering the temperature in the house because I was getting like swamp ass. I was like, "What's
Somebody
happening?"
turn on the AC
Yeah.
for crying out loud.
God damn it! What's happening in here? Anyway, so yeah, I survived that, and I feel so grateful. But aside from the fact that I thought I was having, menopausal hot flashes or whatever, this all started like Saturday or Sunday where it started to get really cold. So on Friday, I get a phone call from the physical therapist's office, and it's, "Hey, you have an appointment on Monday. Are you going to show up?" And I was like, "Sure. Are you guys going to be open?" "Yes." "Okay, cool." Saturday night, get a text message, which I thought was kind of weird because I normally think those text messages work within business hours. And I was like, maybe they work on Saturdays. I don't know. But Saturday evening, I get a text message that says, "Please confirm that you're showing up on Monday."
Yeah, but usually I find those are supposed to be like automated.
They are, but I guess, I don't know. I thought that they wouldn't send them like at odd hours of the evening on a weekend. So I just,
Fair enough.
Either way, I was like, maybe they are open on Saturdays. And so that falls under their purview. But
did you confirm or did you ignore?
I confirmed.
Okay.
Because I am not made of wet noodle, and while maybe the truck didn't want to start with the remote starter, it still started, and I am familiar with ice and snow. I don't care. I was like, I've been waiting for this appointment for weeks.
I grew up in Montreal. You people are weak.
Yeah, for weeks waiting for this appointment, because over the course of the last couple months, I'm losing feeling in my right side, and my hand and arm falls asleep every time I sit. So I have either a pinched nerve or something. They had me scanned. I went to go get my back scanned. There's no discs. There's nothing wrong with my spine. So it's got to be a nerve. So I was like, yes, I'm going to physical therapy. Maybe she will just be like some cure.
Magic lady
will come in and shake some incense and be like, it's the lower quadrant of your upper right cheek. Like, I'm going to be super happy if she says something. Yeah. So fingers crossed.
And she's like, and your mouse hand is returned.
Yes, exactly. So I'm super stoked. Get up early. My appointment is at 9 a.m. I get there at 10 to 9. And
this is Martin Luther King Day Monday, right?
This is Monday. Yeah.
Okay.
Which, honestly, that's why I was asking at first. It wasn't actually mostly weather. It was the fact that it was MLK Day. And I was like,
yeah.
But also Texas, so I'm not, getting into that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah. Some places open.
Some places are open, closed. Some places are not. Get there at 10:02. And parking lot completely abandoned, skating rink. I was like, okay. And I see people like driving, and the road is busy. It's basically downtown. So it's Main Street. And I was like, okay, so people are out and about, and
yeah, the world is not abandoned.
I get out of my vehicle. I leave it running because I tell myself, worst case scenario, if they're still closed, I can just hop back in, because it was really cold. It was cold. And at least from someone who was dealing with 65 degrees, all of a sudden dealing with 25, it's a hell of a temperature drop in 24 hours. So I get to the front door. It's like one of those storm doors with a doorbell. It looks like a house, a little old house,
Yeah.
I try to open the storm door, nothing. Ring the doorbell, closed. I was like, okay. And then I look up and down the door, trying to assess if there's a sign, anything like that. Nothing.
Somebody leave a Post-it, anything?
No.
Leave a note?
Yeah, nothing. I'm like, okay. Check my phone. Nothing. Okay.
Nada.
Well, you know what? It's 10:02. I know normally these things are like show up 15 minutes early because you have to fill out paperwork, blah, blah, blah. But it's kind of shitty outside. I'm going to go back in.
Maybe, somebody's running late and someone's going to open the door at 9. Yeah.
Okay, so I call. Hi. I'm not sure if anybody's...
are we talking to a voicemail at this point?
I'm talking to a voicemail. Hi.
Okay.
my name, my number. I have an appointment at 9. I'm standing outside. Your door is locked. Not sure if you guys are still open. I'll try again in 15 minutes.
I dragged my ass out of the house. The least you could do.
So I get back into my truck, chill a little bit, 15 minutes, 9:05, nobody's around still. And I go, maybe there's another entrance I'm not aware of because it's the first time here. So I go
is there
all
like
the
a
way
backwards?
around.
Is there a secret knock?
Dude, so at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'll look for a closet. Maybe you have a wardrobe I could go through. I don't care. And so I go back up the disabled ramp, the one for wheelchairs. And at this point, that thing is like frozen solid. So I'm like, doing those little ski maneuvers. I get back to the front. I get back to the front. I get back up to the front of the place. Still locked. Still ringing doorbells. Still shaking outside for
Lights
5 minutes.
Off.
Waiting for someone to answer the freaking door. Call back. No answer. Left another voicemail. This time a little bit more comfortable. And it went a little something like, hey, you guys asked me twice to confirm in 48 hours. Now I'm freezing outside here. Your door's closed and you threatened me with a $25 cancellation fee. Guess what? You're not charging me $25 and I expect someone to call me very promptly. I'm going home now. And so I did. I went home. And
I haven't heard from them since.
No, I actually have heard from them. My temperament subsided a little bit, but
I went home and had a bowl of soup. Things were better.
Yeah. I said what I had to say in the moment, so I'm like, So now I'm kind of sitting on this, like I'm okay, but still kind of freaking annoyed about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And I have a discussion with my
hopes
friend.
And dreams about getting cured.
Yeah, I talked to my friend about it, right? Because I explained it to a couple people, but I was on the phone with Amy and I was like, you got to hear what happened with the physical therapist and then blah, blah, blah. And as she's talking, like as we're having this discussion, I'm checking my email. In the spam of my email.
Oh, no.
At 5:24 in the morning.
Oh no.
Is closed due to inclement weather in the subject line, but the body is an HTML mess. So it got caught by spam. It is a disaster. It has like brackets, patient's name, brackets. Like it is horribly populated. It is just a mess.
Dear patient's name.
Dear patient's name. No, not even. No text, nothing. It's just a slew of characters. Like very, very long. So I was like, okay, so your admin needs to figure this out. Anyway, I was like, they did send an email. Which, by the way, who the hell checks their email at 5:30 in the morning?
But if we refer back to our dentist conversation, they're like, we sent you an email. No, you didn't.
Yeah. No, you didn't. This one is like...
Unless you didn't check your spam and they also have the same admin.
Yeah, imagine. No, I checked spam for that. But it was just like a fluke. So, anyway, I see this weird email. Tuesday morning, I get a phone call. Hi, calling because we needed to reschedule. Blah, blah. I was like, I waited outside. Nobody called me back. Nobody's acknowledging the 3 messages I left. Like, God damn it, pay attention to me. You know exactly who you're talking to. I'm the nut job that left 3 messages in 15 minutes. Tell me you see me. Tell me.
My reputation should precede me.
You know damn right. Don't tell me you know anybody else named Nyxi. Shut up. Tell me you heard me. So anyway. So I tell her, reschedule. So it's this coming Monday. And I was like, by the way, you need to tell your IT or whoever it is that runs your marketing for your mail that body of text is just horrible, and the email that you sent at 5:30 in the morning was caught by my spam filter. And she's like, oh, yeah, she knows.
Pardon?
I'll see you Monday, guys. God damn it. I was like, I had no energy. She
Yeah,
just,
you're like, you know what? I
yeah.
give up. She knows.
Yeah, she played it off like it was such a, oh, we know. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know, man. I would never
I'm going to
do
go
that.
pound my head against a wall real quick. Thanks. Bye.
All I wanted was a bit of consideration or a bit of, you know what? We're going to be closed this morning. Can somebody swing by and just put a note up on the door? Let's be for real. If you live here,
listen, if
you're
you
down
have
the
the
street.
ability to text me, like here's one. So I got a 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. text from my hair place because I have an appointment tomorrow at 4:00. That was my original one. But we are apparently also due to get a couple of inches of inclement weather here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I get this text about 3:30 saying, "Hey, it's Kara. Can you come in any sooner tomorrow?" And I'm like, let me go look at my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean, like my last meeting is ends at 10:30. So I'm like, yeah, I could be in there as early as 11. I don't have anything else. I mean, I'll take an early lunch or whatever, shuffle some things around.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 seconds later, perfect. How about noon? I'm like, perfect. She's like, excellent. See you tomorrow. Listen, they have the technology. I mean, okay, listen, I will put the asterisk on that. All that information, theoretically, I'm going to go ahead and be the devil's advocate and say that theoretically, all that information is probably living inside that building and doesn't leave that building. So how the heck they managed to send you an email but couldn't text you is puzzling. But yet, many questions. Somebody used like Chrome remote desktop to like bounce back into a...
I think that this is just, it was very clearly like a home turned business, and they probably have like 3 entire people in the staff doing everything, and the IT person is also the head of the office and billing and the same 15-year-old.
And the janitor.
And the janitor, but apparently nobody was hired to put signs on the door, so so anyway, that's funny that you mentioned.
Yeah, again, like you said, Texas, and they're not prepared. So it's a great question of like, all right, you will have some consideration. I vented on the voicemail.
But this has been something that people have been preparing for a week. It
Filling
has been
their bathtubs.
The buzz of the town.
Buying out toilet paper.
Arctic blast. Get all the water. We're going to die. We won't be able to cook boil our coyotes, whatever they do here. And I was just like,
and you couldn't leave a note.
Well, I mean, you freaking asked me on Friday. You confirmed with me Saturday.
At some ungodly hour.
So,
what else? What is it? Actually, I'm trying to remember. What was that like? Other than toilet paper, what's the other one that I'm trying to remember that always vanishes? We used to see this.
Oh, it was disinfectant, from what I remember.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for COVID. I've seen this in Florida for storms. Like, I want to say, I'm sure, one of my listener friends, Cassandra, is going to be like, as soon as she hears this part, she'll start texting me a list of like, no, the hurricane thing is, I want to say it's like silly things like all the flour disappears and all the eggs disappear. You're
right.
People suddenly have a hankering for pancakes when the storms
all of a sudden everybody remembers how to bake. Exactly.
Toilet paper, water.
But it's funny that you mention your
eggs and flour.
It's funny that you mention your hairdresser because well, that's the next thing that I was going to talk about, sweetie. Yeah. So anyway, that always makes me feel weird. It was something that I had observed. So if anybody is just tuning in for the first time, last week or the week before, we discussed how I had my hair chopped off and I almost got surprise baptized. It's not true, but if you go listen to the episode, you'll fill in the blanks. So this place was called Heavenly Hair, and that is why I answered the phone when the phone rang, because I save all numbers I don't know, because that's how phones work. So I saw Heavenly Hair. I was like, it's a little bit early to be confirming an appointment that I'm pretty sure I made for March, but I'll answer. It was something like, Hi, my name is XYZ, sweetie, and I was just wondering if you can answer a survey for me, sweetie. And then as soon as she did that, it's 2 sweeties in 1 sentence, I remembered that this receptionist, who was very nice, said the word sweetie to me 8 times when I was there.
You're like suddenly
Every
trauma.
sentence,
You're like, wait, I've been
yeah, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Well, because she was overly nice, but it was nothing remarkable for me to be like, when we had our discussion about the hair, it was more about the music that struck me and not the fact that she gave me a pet name 6 times in 5 minutes. So anyway, totally remembered who this was. As soon as she said, I didn't remember the name. She said her name was XYZ. Didn't click to me. And as soon as she ended the phrase with Haley, whatever. As soon as she ended the...
Haley from Heavenly Hair. 3 H's.
Oh my God, Triple H. As soon as she ended the sentence and I heard sweetie like that, I was like, flashbacks to the montage. I was like, oh my God. So she proceeds to ask me 8 or 9 questions about my experience, how fun it was, if the hairdresser gave me an idea of how much it was going to cost, if she offered me any products, if I was happy with the cut, if she was rude or nice or whatever. Anyway, like at least 8 to 10 questions, I'd say, that I can remember. She went through quite a few.
What's the scale? Are we doing yes or no's, or like on a scale of 1 to 5?
It was like mostly yes or no's.
Okay.
But if I'm staying on the phone with you, I'm just going to give you all of the information I'm going to give you, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not going to entertain yes or no survey. If I'm doing a survey, you're getting my honest feedback. So anyway, after each question, every single thing was, okay, and let me just ask you one more thing, sweetie. Did the hairdresser give you a tour of the back wall with the products, sweetie? Did you like them, sweetie? Did she offer them for you, sweetie? And I was like, Lord Jesus. She goes, do you have any other feedback? And I went, sweetie. Yeah, sweetie, do you have any other feedback, sweetie? And I was like, everything was really great. XYZ did a really good job. And I really like my hair. The only thing that's really weird to me is all of these pet names. I'm not really used to being called sweetie every 2 seconds. And then she went, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, while I totally know it's good intentions, it's kind of weird to me. And then she was like, okay, yeah, totally understand. She asks me one more question with no sweetie. And then proceeds to end the call with her wrap-up spiel, which has a lot of sweeties in it. And I was like, God damn it.
You read your script.
Yeah, you read your script. She's like, all right, well, if that's all it's going to be, sweetie, I'll see you next time. I was like, God damn it, you didn't hear a word I said. Yeah, so.
I hope you wrote down my comments.
But anyway, yeah, it was very like, I swear to God, as soon as she spoke to me on the phone, my thought went straight to, oh, I know this person because I've heard this sweetie thing like 10 times already. So anyway, really nice.
Top tip: never call in a bomb threat. We'll spot you. I don't know
why it's the sweetie that bothers me, because I feel like, first of all, really repetitive, too much. Tone it down a little bit. But I think the sweetie sounds condescending to me. And if it was like, all right, doll, I would still be like, but a little more passable. But it's I don't know, maybe I have some deep-rooted past trauma, something related to something misogynist. I have no idea. But yeah, it was just a constant like, you know, when you can totally tell that they're pressing their lips on the other side of the line. And you're like, yeah.
You hear me grinding my teeth?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that was the okay, sweetie. Thanks, sweetie. See you next time, sweetie. And I was like, listen, I gotta tell you, I don't do this sweetie thing. She was thrown off. Like, nobody ever fucking called her out on it. Like, I can't be the only one you're talking to this way. Nobody else has told you, like, it's freaking weird. Or are people at home going, I don't get enough of love and affection. I hope that girl calls me for another survey and then just tells me sweetie 8 times so I can feel loved. Like, I can't be the only person that thinks it's weird. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I would love to hear about your walking around conventions for fun and profit.
Oh yeah. So for Monday, I briefly discussed this with you because it was like I think I was sharing my frustrations because when it comes to, I guess, interacting with people, this is actually a good segue to that. But like I've been, I mean, again, in my line of work, like you go to conventions, you go to them often, at least once a year, and this was just like, I don't know, I have a much thicker skin. It was the same thing where like it developed probably like 15, 20 years ago, where it came to like purchasing people, like salespeople. And I've had salespeople try to blackmail me into buying stuff from them.
Okay, how?
And oh well, because I was like, he sold me something like really cheap, some like expensive equipment, and he sold it to me like, I mean, it was a good price. I mean, I don't even recall, but I remember my manager being very happy with me that we managed to get this price for this networking equipment.
Okay.
Then like 3 months later, I call him to get a quote on patch cables, and he gives me this astronomical price. Like Amazon, this is, like the early 2000s, late 1990s. And he gives me this astronomical price on patch cables. And I'm like, I balk, and I'm like, are you kidding me? These should be like $1 a piece, not $9 a piece. To which the response, I if I remember correctly, was, well, I mean, I give you a deal on that other stuff, so it's just only fair. And I was like, bye. We're done here.
Fair, Jesus. That must work on some people. It's gotta.
It must. Like, when you trying to guilt me into buying from you because you gave me a good deal before?
Remember that time I gave you a sale and you're like, okay.
And then, I mean, add insult to injury, I was working for a government entity at the time. So, like, there is no money in the budget. Like, your entire job is to spend as little as possible.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, yeah, no, I mean, thanks. I'll go find, like, there is no brand loyalty at this point. Like, I will find someone else, but thanks.
Oh my goodness.
And, but so I feel like if I recollect, like I've gotten a pretty, I want to say thick. I want to say not skeptical. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm, yeah, maybe skeptical. Like I have a very just like I can't, like I will not suffer salespeople when they get like mouthy like that, and it's like no. And so we were walking around the convention. The trick that they like to do, especially, so they have like an upstairs where people actually paid for their booths and like with checks with many zeros, and you've got all the big brands upstairs. Yeah. They've got baristas with bars and snacks and mascots, and downstairs are like the mom and pop startups who like invented a widget, and they scrape together enough money to get 2 plane tickets and a poster. But they've hired like top tier salespeople who see your badge and do the, hey there, guy with first name who I read on your badge, like, how was your drive down today, or how was your flight in, or how was, like, are you in the need of widgets? I have all the widgets. And there's only so many times I can be polite and be like, no, thank you. It does work to flip your badge backwards. It seems to be a universal sign of,
leave me alone.
Please, I have an agenda.
No soliciting.
Not on it. Yes, no soliciting. Problem is that I'm with 2 people. They haven't flipped their badge over. So I get bypassed, and then I hear, hey, so-and-so, how are you? I'm like, flip the badge around.
Oh my God.
You're gonna get, and I love it because it's like, oh, vultures, always the vultures, and they like crowd into the aisle, and I found myself using other fallen soldiers as shields. like a crowd of other IT guys in front of me would get caught by Brian talking about his widget and be like, "Hey, Hal and Steve, how about we?" I'm like, "Oh, you're busy with them? Let me go ahead and scoot by here behind Hal and Steve."
Listen, if it doesn't exist, I don't know if it exists, but this might be a case for you to get one of those. Okay, picture this. All right, picture this. A beekeeper's get up, right?
Okay.
But instead of the net falling, because then there might be someone selling things for beekeepers and you want to make sure you cover all your bases, you have an automatic 80s fringe curtain come over. So if someone starts talking to you, you just close the curtains slowly and walk away from them. I think that's
Please tell me that the Oscar Get Off the Stage music is playing.
Yeah. That would be great too. Yeah.
Play them off the stage.
Yeah, man. Or you could just be like, "I'm sorry," and then just point to like the 10-second timer. Yeah, sorry, can you wrap it? That would be great. Yeah, I gotta go.
But I think the insult to injury. So like, okay, we get through the vultures downstairs. We get upstairs. We actually have meetings with vendors that we know, and like we hang out with those people, and usually again the big ones, they don't listen. Like if I'm, Microsoft, and you're coming to me, okay? I don't need to use cheap gimmicks, right? There's no. So like the big ones usually have far less vultures.
Mm-hmm.
But then we wandered over to another booth and we actually like wanted to talk to them. So like we approached a person in their booth and said, "Hi, we have questions. Can we talk to like an actual engineer?"
Please tell me they were responsive.
Yeah. Okay. This dude Mario like pops up out of nowhere. He's got lots of earrings, many rings on his fingers.
Hell yeah,
and Mario. Actually, his first name was hyphenated. It was Mario Thomas. Never seen that one before.
Okay.
I'll
like the tank engine or.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jefferson.
I'll have a. Okay, it's not even hyphenated. I'm going to send you this business card later. Anyway, so Mario Thomas here like does this whole spiel, goes through. He's got a little assistant. I can see this kid furiously typing into his phone because he's creating like an actual customer service contact. Like we already have had contact with them like at the corporate level, like our procurement.
Yeah.
So I'm not. The worst part is that I'm gonna ruin his day because he thinks he's getting like a get. Problem is that as soon as he puts our name into the system, it's gonna go shoot to the person in the motherland, and they're gonna just.
He's gonna be like,
no,
doing this for free.
This is not a hot lead. Yeah, this is not a hot lead. This is just customer support.
Yeah.
And so Mario Thomas, does his whole dog and pony show and we're like, awesome. We pepper him with questions. We are satisfied. His assistant there thanks us. We all shake hands. Literally turn around, walk 6 feet, and one of their other lackeys like jumps out in front of a moving car and lays down, like essentially I'm saying metaphorically, lays herself down across the front of the aisle and was like, "Hi, what brings you to our booth today?" And we're like,
"Were you not? Where have you been? Yeah. Where have you been?"
And so I sidestep this corpse thinking, okay, we're good. And I can hear my 2 compatriots back there being like, can we?
Oh, they didn't make it out. Oh man.
No, they were like, "No, we just talked to Mario Thomas." And then she's like, okay. I get another 3 to 5 feet, and another one jumps into my drive in front of me on the road. And she's like, and I look at her, I'm like, "What is wrong with you people?"
I'm pretty sure that was one of the boss levels.
And I just keep walking. Yeah, and I just keep walking, and I can hear the guys in the back of her like, "Hi, try to just finish talking to him. Like, calm yourself." It's like 4:45. The show closes at 5. You guys trying to sneak in like a couple of extra leads? Like, come on, go home to your family.
I'm telling you, there's ways for you to. I know that you're really good at like stonewalling them. I know that you've had practice with this.
LED ballages. This is no soliciting.
No soliciting. They don't care. They'll show up anyway. Man, I yell at people all the time, and there's a sign literally 3 feet from my door. You got to do one of those things where you got to reverse it on them and be like, "Actually, I'm here to sell this," and then start giving them your own spiel. Make up a fake product and just memorize the elevator pitch and counter sale them. And be like, oh, what brings you to our booth? Actually, I'm here to take you to my booth. And then start just like...
Actually, I'm kidnapping you. If you could please get in the bag.
Yeah. Or show them a card real quick, like a fake badge, and be like, I'm an inspector. You want to be inspected? And then they'll be like, no, that's my manager. Yeah.
The other... Inspector, your carpet is too fluffy. That is the one thing. It's like, so you've got like the convention floor, and it's all like this thin, just like corporate carpeting.
Yes.
And all these booths, especially like all the high-end ones, have this just compulsion to lay down like, so you know those anti-fatigue mats that like you put in front of your like sink?
Yep.
Imagine that about 100% fluffier and covering an entire floor. And it's like, why did you do this? I mean, I get it, why, but it's such a weird, jarring experience, like sensory speaking. When you're crossing from basically like concrete with a thin layer of carpet fuzz on it onto like fluffy couch, like you're bouncing.
Yeah. It's like you walked into a daycare by accident. I
walked into a daycare. Like people could fall and they're just gonna boom.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I don't know. When's the last time you were at a convention?
That was 22.
Oh, so it's been a while. Oh, 22. So not that long ago. Okay.
Not that long ago.
Looking at my watch, like it has the year on it.
No, before that, 20. Yeah, it's. I
as a
have
visitor
mastered
or as
them. Both. Sometimes I'll do panels where I'm a guest speaker, and sometimes Sometimes I help set up the entire convention, and then sometimes I'm just a guest. It depends what's happening and what kind of event is being held. But I'm very familiar with those types of conventions, that the way that they've grown into almost the same type of heavily sales motivated pitches, where the product now is just being jammed down your throat, versus come and check out all this cool stuff and make a decision for yourself on what it is that you're interested in. Because some people genuinely just like to walk around the same way they would do that on a lazy Sunday and just roam around. And if they want to buy stuff, they want to buy stuff. Like they've already done the difficult part of getting them, like you've already passed the difficult part of getting people into your bubble. Harassing people is not going to motivate them for anything. If anything, you're going to get that odd person that you can guilt into promising a purchase.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to say no.
I know. I feel like there will be feedback from my friend Cassandra, who is also in sales in this, but like I am a terrible customer. So I will fully acknowledge that I'm a terrible, because like there's no way that this is, and I know.
Why do you say you're a terrible customer?
No, because I am so like I guess my demeanor of like, I will find you. Believe me, if you're that good and I'm looking for your product, I'll find you myself.
I think that, I think hold on. I think you're a terrible lead. I think you're a good customer. You know what you want, and you.
Oh yeah, I'm not a terrible lead. Like I will not. Yeah. I have, like I said, it's just maybe it's years of watching internet ads and ignoring them, and when I say years, I mean like 3 decades of being on the internet. But I can't be sold by jumping in front of me or tap dancing at conventions. Like
it's a difficult job to be a salesperson and constantly have to.
Yeah.
Essentially, I feel like I'm being harassed because I don't like people in my personal space. Some people are a lot more approachable than someone like myself, and some people are actually open to being pitched. I'm like, stay away from me. If I want something, I will find you. I don't like to be spoken at, and I don't like, some people come off as very manipulative, or that whole try to be your friend thing. Hey, Phil, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't know me. Like, you're a liar.
You can't even pronounce my last name.
Yeah. So it's
But the best one was that there was a couple of times where they're looking at my badge and they misread it. And it just makes me even laugh harder at them. Or they walk in, hey, Paul. And I'm like,
oh, no.
I'm ignoring you because I'm not Paul. But thank you.
Have you tried different dialects and accents and?
Oh no, I don't even. At that point, I chuckle.
I have fun sometimes. Sometimes I'll do the sneeze thing where you pretend sneeze. Yeah, I do want to get that timer, the speech timer. I think that's a good thing.
Like, oh, shot clock. Sorry.
Whatever. I get it's a job. I just want people to take a hint. That's all.
It is very difficult. But like I said, I do not envy, because I know I would not be capable of doing that much. To me, it's also a lot of emotional labor because of how much rejection, because you have to deal with me stonewalling you, which just, I mean, you must have full respect. Like, you have to deal with that, and then you get, I feel like there's a whole spectrum of me way meaner than me,
oh
and
my
then
God,
either very like amiable, or the people who like want somebody to talk to, and you, the salesperson, then cannot be rid of them. We're done with the conversation 10 minutes ago, they're still going about something completely off topic. Like, I feel there's a full, very wide spectrum of like, and you can't be mean to them. You can't say goodbye, right?
I
like,
think
everything's a lead. And I'm willing to bet that not only are they getting paid hourly to jump in front of me after I've walked from Mario Thomas, they're also getting paid for every, because I mean, again, you get the gist that these people are younger. I mean, this is a huge convention. Tens of thousands of people will show up. The amount of people you have to hire to do all the logistics and then to man the booths and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that they're also getting bonuses for
every
absolutely. Person that they hook. Like, if you can get your name in the damn spreadsheet, and Carla booked, Paul and friends, Carla gets a bonus.
It's commission based, bonus lead motivated. And more often than not, there's a lot of internal competition. Everything is made to compete against your fellow salesperson. So like I said, I don't think I don't know if I'm walking back. No, I'm going to stick to what I said so far, but I think it's not sales. I think it's just people that can't take a hint. That's what I don't like. I don't care if you're selling me something or not. If I want you out of my face, I want you out of my face, and I need you to take a hint, because I'm actually really nice, but I go 0 to 100 like that. Do not, like, if I go, no, thank you, with a nice smile on my face, and you're like, but man, blah, 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 I will literally turn around and I said no. Like, literally, like a different person, and they're like, oh, okay. It's like, I just said no, thank you. Like, that should be
I tried to be nice.
Yeah, that should be enough. And so, to save my time, go try with someone else, I guess. But it's just not over the last decade, I would say it's become a lot more
cutthroat.
Yeah.
And they are, I mean, again, the way this industry is, like, I know they're all fighting over the same 0.5%, market share. And you have so many choices, and you don't have to go with anybody. So, anything is better than nothing. So,
I think I'm starting to wonder if whether or not all the evil people in the world live in my subdivision.
Oh. Is this bread related?
Oh. Whatever do you mean? Do you mean
I'm pretty sure my neighbors listen to this podcast.
Yeah, you mean this week on I'm pretty sure my neighbors listen to this podcast, we find a loaf of goddamn bread.
This is escalating so quickly. I mean, at this point, you can make a full meal.
That's what I mean. One day I feel like I'm going to blink and turn around.
Gonna be like,
and this dog's going to be like Lady and the Trampin' with a bowl of spaghetti behind a bush. Like, I just don't
Where'd you get garlic bread?
It has come to the point where they're sniffing around, and I will turn to Jake and I will say, XYZ, let's do elemental P next week and blah, blah, blah. And then look back and he's eating like an entire lobster claw. And I'm just like, where did you get that? It's 2 seconds. 2 seconds. You cannot take your eyes off this dog. He's like,
are you sure there isn't a wormhole over this house and it's just connected to a dumpster next to a grocery store?
Not only that, first of all, he grazes too much. I gotta do this whole treat thing and retrain him, and so that he's always got his focus on me, because this dog will literally inhale anything like he's never gonna have another meal, which is bonkers because he just ate. So anyway.
Mine too. I mean, I had to switch. Did I send you the picture of the slow feeder that I ended up getting? The literal maze of food that I had to buy for this. Same thing. This one eats in the morning his 2 meals a day, as if he's never going to be fed ever again.
Oh, well, the speed, we mitigated that with a slow feeder months ago. Like he's been eating with a slow feeder in his bowl, like with a suction cup kind of thing. That has been the case always. So we've been able to solve for his I don't chew, let me just inhale and like kind of thing. But when we are taking them for W's, I don't know anymore what to do. There's no safe place or direction to walk towards.
Everything.
And it's true though. I've tried to inform myself to the best of my capability, aside the make sure that when you're taking them for their W, they're really interested. And so like keep training them to stay focused on you by giving them their TREATs. And, you know, I totally understand that part. But one of the other suggestions was also change it up a bit. And I'm like, change it up a bit? I've been changing it up every day. We go always in a different direction. It's always no, we're not going this way. No, we're crossing the street this time. It has been different each time. But it's almost like they just covered a 3-mile radius and just...
I'm telling you, there's a wormhole over your neighborhood.
Somewhere, a grocery store exploded and nobody told me anything. Or someone just dropped something out of a plane and equally sprinkled all over every lawn.
So, like, now I'm like, what do you mean a loaf of bread? Like, in a plastic bag Wonder Bread? Or did
I'm being hyperbolic. It was the ass of a baguette.
But
it was a chunk. Like, I could have had a human-sized sandwich. Like, it was, and obviously, like, I don't know. And the worst part is...
It's still, like I said, I will reiterate my statement from last episode. I don't understand why it's such a bizarre, random collection of food. It's chocolate, it's this, it's that, it's full-size candy bars. Who wastes a full-size candy bar under the age of 14? No one.
And that's why I said to myself, there's no way that I can possibly blame, you know, night critters roaming around trying to eat through trash, because the whole point is to eat the trash. So,
yes,
you know, like, I know it's not
should
that.
Be gone.
Exactly. So anyway, literally, that's exactly what happened. I mean, not to be repetitive, turned around, looked at Jake, said, exchanged 3 freaking words, look back, and he's got this entire loaf in his face. And I'm like, what? Where did you get this? And then I gotta pry it out of his mouth. He doesn't want to move, so what he does is he chews really slowly and caves into himself. And I'm like, I could still see you. And then I gotta, like, lock his leash, and then he's gotta pry open his mouth, and then he's pulling out chunks and chunks of bread.
Drama.
Non-stop. And now there's bread all over the lawn, right? And while we're yelling at him, he's literally like, trying to pick up the piece that fell. I'm like, you gotta stop. We can't.
He's just like, it's an uncontrollable, like, no, but just one more piece of bread.
Yeah,
it's
please.
Okay.
I'm dying.
Just one more.
Unbelievable. And
I won't eat another 8 hours. I know I won't.
I just feel bad because it's become so, like, 50-50, the experience of him being, like, taken for a W, where he's going to get scolded. And I hate that, because it's not his fault. That literally, like, if someone says, like, hey, by the way, your full-time job will now be situated right next to this buffet. What do you want me to do? Like, of course I'm gonna eat. Like, it's just, I gotta figure out how to train him so that he understands drop it, or that he feels a little bit more holy crap when I say the word no to him. Because when I say no, he's cool with, like, stopping in his tracks, like, oh shit, I did something wrong. But not if he's eating something. He's like, I don't care what you're saying. Yeah.
The only thing that I can think of is that I because this vacuum that graces my life, also, like, his thing is finding a stick outside that he's convinced he's going to bring indoors, and then and you can't. There is no taking it from him. But somewhere I'd probably a YouTube video somewhere, somebody had said redirection, and because he's such a little treat whore, I could just go get one of his treats and be like, this is better than a stick, and he's like, actually it is, and he'll drop this. So I've kind of gotten the I don't know how I managed to connect these Pavlovian dots, but sometimes he'll run up to the back door and I won't open, and I'll be like, you can't bring that inside, and he'll give me this sheepish look like, but maybe this time, and I'll be like, no, not even this time, and he'll like gingerly put it on the stair, and then he'll like, okay, fine, and
at least he knows
the door.
Yeah,
but no, half the time he'll still be like, the door opens, and he'll be like, and I'll be like, nope.
No, he's not food motivated. He's just not.
No, he is still food. No, he's still, like that. His cow bones, same thing. Like when he gets something, like he got a little stuffed alligator for Christmas, and it literally said indestructible. I texted my friend. I was like, this is actually more of a hope-filled phrase. Took him like, I don't know, under 2 minutes to rip the noses off.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I will return this alligator to him, but it's going to have to be in shifts, because I know how, like, the only thing that he won't go through is literal cow thigh bones. That is what I give him. And that is like his thing. He's always been a chewer. The vet loves me because he's like, you must brush his teeth daily. I'm like, no, I just give him cow bones, and he just goes to town on them. They're like, well, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, because he's got like the teeth of a god. Like, okay.
Yeah. No, that's
But that's
anyway.
Like, I can't wait. Next week I'm expecting like either deli meat or like a half a ham.
Like I'm gonna say toss up here. It's either gonna be frozen pizza or a bottle of penicillin. We're not sure. We're not sure. I'll let you know what the bush has in store, because I have no idea.
The magic bush of groceries.
Yeah, let's end all hunger on the corner of this street and this street, because this bush just has in food all.
Are these croutons?
You know, I swear to God, if at one point I just see like a random person, like while we walk by, looking in their bush going, where the hell is my loaf of bread? Because they're hiding food from their wife or something. I don't know. I just need something to make sense. So, but anyway, before we wrap this up, I wanted to say that for anybody that wants to drop some topics or suggestions, or has any feedback, or just wants to jump in on the conversation, we actually do have an email address, and I'm the dum-dum that hasn't been sharing it. So I'm going to be adding it to the descriptions of the podcasts in YouTube, and Phil, you'll handle Spotify. That email address is offitpodcast@nyxent.net. So offit is a WFIT podcast at nyxent.net. Yeah, sorry about that. That was a good idea. I totally spaced. I was like, oh yeah, we have one of those. So yeah, I'm going to go brace myself and hope that this W doesn't turn into another food shaming extravaganza.
another grocery. What was that TV show, that game show? Grocery, like, the one where
aisle, the one with what's his
face?
We
have to run around under 2 minutes and get all the groceries.
I don't remember what it is, but it could be that, or maybe like this dog thinks it's a mama bird and it's supposed to be regurgitating what he eats. Maybe I'll just get free groceries from now on. It's just a different method of distribution. But
I mean, again, it's like he can eat bread. He shouldn't eat bread, but God, it's not as bad as chocolate for them.
So paranoid.
It's like, it could be worse.
It could be worse, yeah. But anyway, all right, guys.
From me and Mario Thomas and your dog who likes loaves of bread.
Yes.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Doodles.